Back to that story we were talking to Paul Rowley, our political correspondent, about just a few moments ago. UKIP's new MP for Rochester and Stroud has urged other politicians now to defect to the party. He's Mark Reckless. He's a former Conservative. He won that by-election by polling almost 3,000 more votes than the Tories. Well, Philip Broughton will try and win Hartlepool from Labour's Ian Wright at the next general election. He's been reacting to last night's win.
Yeah, fantastic result in Rochester and Stroud, the by-election last night. I mean, I think this really does show that British politics is changing beyond what any of us could believe. This is target 271 on our target list, and we've won it with a majority of just short of 3,000. So it's an amazing result. I think it does.
Not a bigger majority as you were hoping for, by the way.
Well, I think you've got to bear in mind that this is a strong Conservative seat, and to go within 2 months of this by-election being called and actually winning this seat is an amazing achievement. And I think really this blows open the general election now. You're going to be looking at seats all across the country where we've got an amazing chance of winning the MP.
The difficulty is we're less than 6 months away from a general election and your party doesn't have a manifesto at this stage. That is pretty shabby for a party, isn't it?
Let's be clear about this, Neil. No party has a manifesto at this particular time.
Well, you've got something to base on,
Yeah, obviously we have policies, that we've launched at the Doncaster conference. They're all out there. Policies for people. They're all out there. And what the things that we were talking about at our conference, are protecting the National Health Service, keeping it free at the point of use, opposing privatisation. So we would keep the NHS free at the point of use. On crime and law and order, we want tougher policies on law and order. And we're saying if the judge gives somebody a 5-year sentence, that person's got to serve the full 5 years. And of course we want to control and limit immigration because, we think 243,000 people, coming in with the net figure at the moment is too many people, and we need to have a more controlled and limited immigration system like Australia do with a points-based system.
And you accept what Australia do? They actually put people back on boats and send them out to sea. That's something you'd like to see introduced here?
What we're saying, Neil, very clearly is we want to have an Australian-style points-based system, treats everyone the same, everyone fairly, everyone equally, judges them on their own individual skills and talents that they bring, and that's what we're calling for. We're calling for a controlled and limited immigration system. At the moment, our immigration system is skewed in favour of people who come from the European Union. We think that's wrong. We're not bothered where you come from. America, the Commonwealth, Europe, everyone should be treated the same. We should judge them on their individual skills.
You also mentioned health there. If we can, let's turn to Hartlepool, because you have accused Ian Wright, the Hartlepool MP for Labour, of doing nothing to stop the downgrading of Hartlepool's hospital.
That's exactly right, yes.
Well, he was on this programme last week, though, demanding investment in the hospital. Are you willing to retract those comments?
Look, listen, I'm not going to retract anything I've said about Ian Wright. Ian Wright has been the Hartlepool MP for the last 10 years. And the only reason in the last 4 or 5 weeks he started talking about Hartlepool Hospital is because I launched a Facebook campaign to save Hartlepool Hospital, 2.5 months ago. We've got 2,000 and a bit people on there now. And, the fact is I'm leading the debate in Hartlepool on wanting to keep the Hartlepool Hospital. Ian Wright's record over the last 10 years is he has been absolutely silent on that hospital until the last couple of weeks, and he's done nothing about it. And people have got a very, very clear choice at the next general election in Hartlepool. Do they want, another 5 years of Ian Wright, who's been silent on the hospital, who's let them down? Or do they want real change with me, Philip Broughton and UKIP, who's going to work a lot harder for them? Brings a lot more common sense to the table, because that's certainly what we need in Parliament.
He's got a majority of 5,509. Are you confident you can overturn that?
I think we've got an amazing chance of winning Hartlepool. Yes, I think it is going to be a tough fight, but I think we've got a great chance. We've got a lot of people coming across, from the Labour side to us who are
saying... What are they saying to you?
Well, what they're saying is, look, Ian Wright's been the MP for 10 years. Labour have let us down. They talk about things like the hospital, where obviously he has clearly been silent and he's let the people of Hartlepool down. They talk about things like, immigration, where, immigration got out of control under Labour and it's carried on under the Conservative and Liberal Democrat coalition. And, people realise that UKIP have the policy solutions to the problems. We want to protect the National Health Service, keep it free at the point of use. We want to control and limit immigration with that Australian-style points-based system. And of course we want tougher policies on law and order as well.
That's Philip Broughton, the prospective parliamentary candidate for Hartlepool, talking to us a little earlier on. We have got a call in to Ian Wright to come back to us. He hasn't as of yet.
Across Teesside.